Sweet as honey to the brightest flower, the largest planet to the smallest atom. Snowflakes of the bird king. It's the first podcast of Energy, and we are excited tonight to be here.
Yes, we are.
To start our very first podcast. You know, we've been talking about it
For a while.
And it's time to bring some things
A
to
long
fruition
while.
because talking about stuff and not doing it is just like faith without works is dead. So we're going to get right
That's
into
a good
it.
analogy.
Thank you.
I like that.
We're going to jump right into it as we're going to do with every session that we have. We're going to start things out with prayer because we want to do things in decency and in order.
We always want to invite God into this session, every session.
That's
Because
right.
without Him, we will have nothing, we will be nothing, and we are nothing.
Absolutely. With Him is where I move and have my being. I think that's what the song says.
Yeah.
At least close to it. If it's not those exact words, but anyway, you get the gist.
Okay.
All right. Let's do this. Oh, you waiting for me?
Yeah, you opened up this time. I prayed yesterday.
All right. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today, God. We come just open so that the world may be able to see who you are and who you created us to be.
Yes.
God, you've given us this vision. You've given us the desire, God. You've given us the energy. You've given us the power to have our own will. And we're deciding in our own will that we want to make room for you.
Yes,
we
Lord.
want to make room for you in our lives. We want to give you the time that we need to be able to flourish and to grow and to move in righteousness, God. But we also want to be able to have the knowledge, the wisdom, and the power that we need to be able to function here in this world.
Yes.
We want to be able to use the talents and the gifts that you've given us and to make it grow and multiply into something else. So, God, that's what we're doing here in this space. That's what we're going to keep doing in this space, God. And we just thank you. We ask you to bless it. We ask you to keep your hands on it. We know that your ears are going to be to
Lord.
it. And there is nothing that you cannot do. And there's nothing that we cannot do with you, God. There's nothing that we can do with you, and without you we don't know where we would be. So we ask you to bless this space. We ask you to bless our minds. We ask you to bless our lips and our hearts and everything so that we pour out whatever it is that you have given us and whatever this world has given us to be able to share with the world, and let no shame be cast upon us. Let no judgment be cast upon us, God, because we are shameless, because you, whatever we've done, we've asked for forgiveness for it. We have no shame in this forgiven, and we are open to be able to share it with people so that they may feel open to share whatever it is, and hopefully there'll be some redemption, there'll be some deliverance, there'll be some self-help, God, there'll be some self-awareness, there'll be some progression, some acceleration, all of those things that can come through with just recognizing who you are and who you created us to be. And we're doing this on purpose. So we ask these things in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey, you remember when we tried to start that party with the purpose?
Yes.
It just reminded me when you say we're doing this on purpose. So it always be something that we have going on that we're like, we doing something for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So that was awesome when you said that. I just brought that back to memory.
Thank you. You know, one of my words right now that I've been using a lot is intentionality. You have to be intentional with whatever you're going to do. Think about it now. Like, you could be wanting to do stuff, right? You might have the intentions to do it. So, right, but you got to be intentional. That means that if you're intentional, that means that you are putting forth your best effort and your mindset and everything. You're shifting it towards that to actually do the thing that you set out to do. So tonight, this is intentional.
It definitely is, because we're tired. We didn't work all day, you know, but we want to make sure that we said that we were going to do it on Wednesdays. We're going to call this Women Wednesday. And so we didn't went to Goodwill.
Right.
We didn't
little thrifting.
Work. We
Right.
did a little bit of everything, but we made sure that we was intentional enough to get in here and start this, our very first podcast.
Yes, definitely. And we thought about some different names, but the one thing that God gave to me, and He gave it to me like last year, September, and I have been procrastinating or just putting other things in front of doing what actually what God spoke to me about doing. It was having a small group with women once a week, and I wanted to be on Wednesdays.
Right.
And the only word that just kept coming to me was energy. Energy. Like energy never dies. Energy can be created. Like energy is just something that you need when you're down, when you're tired. And I mean, and who doesn't want more energy?
And I wanted to do this, and God gave it to me and brought it to my thought process when, just praying. I felt like we as women needed a place that we can talk and just be real raw and uncut with each other. Because one thing about God, you can't hide it from Him.
That's right.
And so a lot of times people think that they can't be raw and uncut, just say what comes to mind. I mean, don't be.
Gotta have a little tact sometimes. Right. Know when to use it.
Know when to use it. But all at the same time, to not have to feel shameful about, your thoughts and what you're talking about. And so I was like, Quanda, we just got to do it. At first we was like, let's just get some people together, like go into a place and do it. But we was like, we can do this over a podcast and we can do it in different spaces too. So
right.
And I feel like we're very raw and uncut because the conversations that we have,
baby, listen.
And we're going to share some of it with you guys.
We definitely are. So this, like Shantae said, it's going to be a 2-part where we're going to do the podcast and we're going to try to develop our audience. And we want feedback. We want constructive criticism. We want I'm not a social media person, and it's crazy because I'm starting to do this whole thing. I'm not saying that I'm not ever on social media, but what I'm saying is that I don't devote a lot of my time to social media. I try to be involved in the real world as much as possible, but I got to keep my ear to the street, the social media street. And the digital world, right?
Going on these days,
right? You don't know nothing if you ain't on social media.
We're not millennials, guys.
No.
We don't really like to text. We don't really. I want it in real time. I want to talk. I want to do face to face. I want to go to the place,
right?
But we got to meet people where they are, and this is new for me too.
Right.
I barely know how to upload.
Don't take it too far.
Okay, that might be pushing it. I'm gonna come back.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. We have a little class on upload if you need to. BT dubs. Okay.
Whatever. But
so
this is for you all because we want to share and we want you guys to share. Just give a little bit of our background. And they say that when God gives you something, your natural job is the gift that God gives you.
Oh my gosh, Shantae. So Shantae made me some tea. She asked me, do I want some tea before we start our little podcast? And I'm like, yes, I want some tea. Right? Listen, so the type of tea that I chose was Vitality of Life. And it's turmeric honey chai or something like that. By the way, it's delicious. I only added, how many tablespoons of honey did you add? 3 tablespoons
that's the big spoon, y'all,
honey.
not the little spoon, okay?
Right, but it's a nice size cup too. So, and it's still not overly sweet. It's just enough. And it tastes amazing, by the way. So I just happened to look down when she said that, and the little tag on the end of the tea says, "This life is a gift." Oh my gosh!
Saying that God gives us gifts.
Oh my gosh! So
life is one of them.
It's so on purpose, and sometimes people take that for granted. Like you have to use this life for what it is intended for. And a lot of time, I'm gonna speak on this real quick. And I know it's kind of like going all over the place, but like you say, it's raw.
Yeah. And sidebar, guys. These are for the ears that can keep up because we do jump back.
We're gonna shift it. We're gonna shift it.
We shift a lot.
So keep up. So what I was about to say.
Oh my God. I don't know what she was about to say because she was about to say, you said, okay, maybe to come back.
Okay.
Come back to you.
Dang, that was going to be good.
It's going to be good because you're going to remember it, but I'm going to go.
Oh, okay, I got it. Got it. So I was about to say about life. And one thing that I was afraid of And I did say afraid. I know that, God did not give us a spirit of fear. But at some point, I was afraid to ask what my purpose was.
Oh, and I was just getting ready to say that. I was getting ready to talk about purpose and I was just asked like, Lord, what is my purpose? But when I said that, we're in our purpose and that God gives us gifts and in your natural job, I was about to tie that into it. But go ahead, so we can tie them together because we always usually hit on the head.
Right.
So you go ahead and I'll go back.
Don't forget.
I'm gonna try not to.
Okay. So, I was afraid to ask God what my purpose was because I'm like, am I really ready to know what my purpose is? Because when you don't know something, you can't really be convicted for it, so to speak. So,
as they say, ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. Okay. And, you can't really be punished for things that you don't know about. So, yeah. So I waited for a long time before, and it was just on my mind. It was on my mind. What is my purpose? What is my purpose? I bought the book, Purpose Driven Life, and all of that. Kept it, looked at it, used it for decoration. I did not read it.
I finally read it about 2 years ago.
I was afraid to find out what my purpose was. Crazy, and I got the book. So, one day I just decided I was like, I'm going to ask God what my purpose is, in life, and so. If you know early what your purpose is and you're walking in your purpose or you are taking steps to be who you're supposed to be and do what you're supposed to do in your purpose, kudos and great for you.
Right.
But I'm just getting to that point to where I think purpose also changes. Because I think I may have been doing my purpose and didn't actually know it. But now I feel like I am.
I'm just getting ready to say that sometimes you really don't know what your purpose is. And you are actually doing your purpose, because for a long time, and I still sometimes question it and be like, what is my purpose? For instance, I was just getting ready to say introductorily that me and Quanda, I'm a social worker, Quanda is a counselor. Now, I did not ask to be a social worker. I did not grow up saying, oh, I'm going to be a social worker. I want to help people. I want to do this. But I look back on my life and I realized that people were always talking to me. They felt comfortable talking to me. I'm in the store. I'm buying clothes. Even when I was sitting at the bus stop, guys, because I didn't always have a car. Okay. But sitting at the bus stop, people would come and talk to me, tell me their family problems. And I was like, what is on my forehead? Like, do I just look like just come talk to me? And it just never dawned on me. So I guess because it comes so easy, I don't think that's my purpose. But at the same time, it's my purpose because I can't get away from it. And it always seems to help someone else, or it always seems to be something that someone else needs. Even when I don't have it for myself, I end up giving what somebody else needs. So, when we talk about purpose, it takes time for you to sit back, think about, rewind your life, like look through your life and see all the things that can equal up to what's in my life that's contributed to other people's life. And that sometimes I feel that equals to purpose because God puts us here for each other, not for ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. I can definitely see that and I can relate to that.
But then I feel like sometimes my purpose is crafting because, honey,
it's hard to keep up.
I will make some things.
It's hard to keep up.
Yes, it is.
Now I was just gonna say, yeah, I want to piggyback on that to say that I can definitely say that I did not see myself as being a counselor. I had a lot of things in my mind, but counseling was not one of them. But I happened to think of this is weird because I happened to think about this like the other day. And I was thinking back to like how I got to this point and how life just kind of guided me to become a counselor. And so one day I was like, you know what? Because I've been a hairstylist for many years and I have clients who sit in my chair and they confide in me. They tell me things about their lives and what's going on with this person. And I've always kept that in confidentiality. Like I keep that real. I have secrets. Okay, it's a vault over here. I have some secrets, and they trusted me enough to let me in on those things, and also accepted my advice. Or if they just needed me just to be a listening ear, I was able to provide that. So I'm like, you know what? I want to go back to school and I want to do something. And I'm like, I would need to go for counseling because I be counseling people and I be doing it for free. You getting two services, a hairstylist and a counselor. So maybe I need to go to school to actually, get paid for that. And then I've always loved psychology. I've always loved the study of the mind. So just going in to do that, I was like, this is definitely my direction that I'm going in. And I ended up where I am, counseling kids, and I actually love my job.
Yeah, I could tell she loves her job.
I thought I was gonna be dealing with adults and high school kids, but I love the elementary
and
school
see,
kids.
and that was the thing. Like I thought that I was going to be not dealing with solely kids, but I love teenagers, guys. And I thought for that I was going to be dealing with teenagers, the at-risk youth, and going somewhere that places that I've been, like trying to help troubled teens because Lord have mercy, was one of those troubled teens. But I ended up in mental health, and
So similar.
Yeah, what?
The paths that
Yeah,
we even though we're far apart, at times, but we still kind of like stay in line and kind of parallel in different aspects, but still in the same vein.
And when I tell you, like, mental health, you see so many things, but guys, you gotta have God when you're dealing with that. I would have to ask him to keep things off of me, and I'll see people change, and one minute they cussing at me, they're like, "Could you pray for me?" And it's definitely a thin line when you're in these professions, and God gives you those type of gifts, because you can easily lose your job for doing things as praying, such as praying for somebody, or having just a real heart to heart conversation. So, and that's another reason why I wanted to do something like this, because you don't have to have a face to have a conversation. We're talking to you guys. You can't see us at this moment, but if there's something that needs to be said, you can always type it, or we'll
Check the
eventually
comments.
we'll eventually find the ways that if we need to have a conversation with you guys, I pray for you all. But there's so much more that we can do to help each other, or someone who's in need, versus everything being so politicky, or being so
judgmental.
Yeah, because work is politicky to me,
right? And we want to make it a safe place as much as possible. And I know, like, how can speaking to people online, be a safe place? We're not asking for any identities, of course. We share who we are, but as far as anyone that we're talking to, or invite on here to be with us on the panel or anything like that, they can share as much or as little as they would like. So, when we have our small group sessions, though, that can be a time where it's a little bit more intimate. And, you can choose to, again, share what you want and just kind of bring it together. And we're hoping that it's a safe space. And we want it to be a place where women are able to come together to talk about, all aspects of life, not just about work, not just about God, not just about kids or things, just all of the different things. And we're going to have some targeted topics that we're going to discuss and be able to
but we also want you guys to chime in and tell us what you want to talk about. We may not have some of the topics, or may think of some of the things that you guys want to talk about. And when we say raw and uncut, we mean raw and uncut. We don't care what we talk about.
Yeah, honestly. It's gonna be some guided talking. It's gonna be some free play. Like it's free air.
Yes.
To get some things out there so that we can discuss it and just kind of play with it, throw it out there.
So what we're gonna do to show you guys how comfortable we are talking and how we talk to each other, we're about to tell y'all how they went today, and the way that Q and Tay talk.
Okay, so go ahead.
How did your day start out?
Oh, my day started out. I had a meeting. Oh my gosh, things just shifting so much at my workplace. It's so crazy. It's like so much. It's no consistency. Everything is constantly changing with
my world.
admin. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why I'm one of the people that it doesn't really bother as much because I'm so used to change and I'm kind of adaptable. I'm like, okay. And this morning I made a joke because our mascot is like scouts or something like that. But I'm like, at one point we were called the change agents, and I'm like, we really seriously need to go back to the change agents because with all of this change, I'm telling you, like that is who we are. I don't know if we spoke it into existence, and that existence is still on us, even though we're explorers. Like, I guess at one point we were change agents, and now we're exploring the change. I don't know. You know, it was it wasn't really rough. It was just very, very busy and constant changing. I have a very fast paced job. People think that or as an elementary school counselor or a counselor period, you just sit at your desk in your office, people come in and talk to you, you have some start time and you give them some advice, let them talk through it, then they leave. And I drink coffee and tea all day. Like that is really not my job at all.
In elementary school, I would never.
Man, I encounter so many things with so many kids.
I can't imagine. And I'm the total opposite. Because, guys, you know, I've been diagnosed with ADD, okay? So, change for me is hard. Even though in my mind I think that I'm good at change, I'm really not. And I get really, like, I have to literally write lists in order for me to stay focused because I get so unfocused really, really fast. And so
I'm just forgetful.
So the day for me could go left real quick, like real quick. A phone call.
Like we were supposed to be meeting to come to the podcast, and then she called me and said, "Hey, so you want to go to Goodwill with?" I'm like, "Well, where did that come from?" You know, but like, that's never, my homie, so I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Never. Don't ask me to plan nothing. I'm never on target. Like it could change. Like that's okay for change for me, but do not change a schedule, like a work schedule for me.
Speaking of Target has some cute jeans.
They do.
Yeah, they do. Like
Target. No, girl, don't talk about shopping because.
Well, you were talking about Goodwill.
I know, but then I'm gonna be on my phone looking at Target. I'm supposed to be concentrating on this.
Okay, don't do that.
Yeah, I won't do it. But
and that's Amazon for me. So
it's Fashion Nova.
I'm not on anything more than Amazon. Amazon is my social media at this point.
And Fashion Nova is mine because that one day shipping hunting.
Ooh, baby.
Even though you do have to spend $100, but I got so much Fashion Nova credit. I know they're tired of me.
Right. But hey, but you got it when you need it.
Back in a minute.
You got it when you need it because it's hit and miss sometimes.
Yeah, but how was my day?
Yes, how was your day, Shantae? How was your day, Shantae? How was your day, Shantae?
That's cute, but don't do it. Don't overdo it.
All right. Anyways.
It was busy, I guess. Okay, guys, so I'm really doing busy work right now in my life.
Okay. Talk about it.
Yeah. So I /work/volunteer at a print shop.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of like it because I like to craft, and it's like I can craft all day. But then I moved into this other role where I'm like administrator now, and the people, my God, my God. But someone said today that you cannot let these people razzle you because people are who they are.
Razzle or rattle?
Oh yeah, rattle.
That's gonna happen a lot. By the way,
we're a whole master's degree, but I am who I am.
That's right. But I'm just going to my friend because ain't nobody about to be talking about her.
Right.
Go ahead, child.
Right. This has been going on for 28 years, guys.
Going on and razzle off.
Okay, so razzle. Wait a minute, what words was I supposed to use?
Rattle.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Whew. See, that's that mental health. That's why I'm so good at working in mental health. Rattle. Yeah, so you can't let people rattle you because they are who they are. And some you're gonna have some good people that come in. You're gonna have some people who just, mean and nasty for no reason.
That's the life of business, customer service.
Customer service. So you have to smile when you don't want to. Like the girl came in today, she was like, "Good morning." So I was like, "Good morning," with a smile. And her body language is all off.
Cool, baby.
And, that body language is off. So she was like, I couldn't pick out a sample shirt.
With that body language?
With the body language. Guys, I wish I could see it, but just think about what I'm doing.
Just wiggling.
Yeah, wiggling. Because that's how she was doing with her hands all in the air. You know how us women do. But anyway, so she was like, yeah, I couldn't pick up the sample shirt. So me, I fell at many tests, guys. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, gee, you're so aggressive.
You said that?
I did.
Okay.
She was like, how am I? I'm aggressive because I said good morning. I said, no, that wasn't it. I was like, it's just the way that you had came in here and demanded the shirt. So she was just like, oh, but I said, you know what? I said, okay, here's the shirt, fold it up, put it in the bag, gave it to her, and I said, you have a nice day. She's like, you have a nice day. I mean, I don't know what was in her tea, coffee. I mean, I know it was raining outside, so maybe she don't like being out in the rain. But
yeah, sometimes the weather does have an effect on people. That is definitely scientifically researched.
But for you
and
guys
reported
who are in customer service, I would say kudos to you. Okay, because that's a lot.
It's the whole thing.
It's a lot. Not a whole thing, a lot. Auntie. Oh my God.
Something that I used to tell my students when I taught at a technical college. And I used to tell my students, they were in the service industry, and I said, if you can't be, let me put it in the way that I put it. If you can't be, if you don't have good character, then just be professional.
Right.
Because just being professional means you're going to follow the guidelines, you're going to use ethics,
Correct.
You're going to follow the procedures and protocols, whatever is in line with being professional is for that industry. So if you don't have the character, don't lean on yourself. Lean to the professionals. right. To the conduct, to the code of conduct, to the handbook, employee handbook, the guides.
Right.
So
I used to think that I know I have good character, so I'm not going to say that. And I know that I can be professional. But I think the older that I get, it becomes more hard. And I prayed about that this morning too. I'm like, Lord, I know you're trying to build my character. So I think I have these run-ins because, when God wants to do something new in your way, He's taking you places, and me being there is so different from what I've always done. So I'm here at a print shop, loving the fact that I can craft when I want to, but dealing with people. So I don't know where God is going to take me, but I know that I would encounter all different type of people. So when you're dealing with mental health people, you know something wrong with them. You know that.
Right.
So in your mind, you're like, okay, I got to deal with them a certain way. So it's pretty cookie cutter. We doing this right here because this is following the guidelines on how you deal with mental health. But when you dealing with people that you've never met before, or you're in a business and people come and they're having a bad day and all of those things,
they deflect all of that on you.
Yes. And so you have to know how to do it. And especially when you don't want to lose business or you want your business to look in a certain light. So I'm here working in someone's business and I want that person's business to be looked at in a certain light. So I can't cut a food because somebody else is cutting the food.
Right.
So I'm like praying, asking God, like, okay, Lord, I know you're doing something in my character. You're doing something in me. So I have to lean on God a lot.
Right.
For that purpose. And so God is going to put you in places so that you can build your character in places you don't even think that He will do it or think that you're going to be.
Man, listen.
So, but I always tell people, and my motto, and for a long time in life has, you got to see God in everything.
Right.
So when things are going bad for me, I'm like, got to see God in it. So I gotta look at Him and say, what is God doing in this situation when I'm having my bad days? And you can pretty much find God, not pretty much, but you can find God and something good out of a bad day.
That's right.
If you wake up, it's good.
Right.
If you ate something today, it's good. If your kids didn't get hurt, it's good.
It's good.
So I try to lean towards those type of things to when I finish having a fit or when I finish, being angry or mad or sad, I'm like, why, Shantae? Why you like this? Because you have something. It's good. God has done something good today.
Right.
So
I think that's definitely a good point to be able to find God all throughout your day in different ways and in different things. I forgot about it until you started talking about it. Wow, it was just so funny how
was it a trigger?
It was a trigger. I got triggered just now because this morning, as soon as I got to work, I had two parent conferences back to back that I did not plan for, that I did not schedule, but I had to be the person to do it because usually when they don't want to deal with people the difficult parents, man, so they're like, you know what, we're gonna call her. So they call me and I come up and I it's God, number one, and number two, it's me thinking I'm teaching myself because I counsel myself and I say that I do have character and I can be professional and I'm not going to let them take me outside that, right?
You do a good job at it.
Thank you. And not saying that it ain't hard and I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that my eyes ain't blink real hard at different points, but this morning particularly, like back to back, as soon as I got there, I had two very unpleasant conferences. And like my coworkers, they're looking around and they're like they got to witness both of them at different times, and they're like, I don't know how you just dealt with that. Like it was like better you than me, or I couldn't do that, and it was a lot. And but anyway, I got through it, and the only thing I could think about, I was just like, God, it's nothing but God, and I was like, God just has given me strength, and I'm like, I was quoting scriptures, baby. I said, Lord, you are my strength, you are my redeemer, because people can sometimes take you outside of your character or guide you out of the way, out of the light that you're in or whatever. And no matter how far or whatever they were trying to say to get me to get out of where I was, I stood my ground as far as to say, no, this is how I'm going to guide the conversation and kind of keep it focused. And because I'm not getting rattled, because I'm not getting back upset, because I'm not snapping back, sometimes that makes people calm down. I keep my voice even. I stay to the point. I don't try to say things that's going to require a snappy comeback, or for me to have to apologize, because I don't want to. Not that I don't want to apologize, but I don't even want to go down that road. I'd rather just keep it where it is, on the up and up. So when anything that comes back from this conversation, I will happily say, yes, that's what I said. Yes, that's what I did. This is what occurred. But anyway, getting past that, moving on to patience and God developing you. And you said about getting older. And sometimes, as we all do get older and our tolerance gets a little shorter and stuff. And at certain times in life, we pray for patience. Like I know I have, like years ago, prayed for patience. And when you pray for something, you got to be careful what you pray for, because especially with patience, because when you pray for patience, how are you going to know that you have patience unless you're tested?
Unless you're tested, and you have to wait.
And you have to wait, or you have to react in a way that shows that you have patience. You have to deal with people in a way that shows that you are patient. And that statement of patience is a virtue. I always say that patience is a virtue. People always say that it's a cliche, but one day I was thinking about it, and I'm real. Some people, if you know me, then you know me. But I'm kind of a little nerdy, so I be looking up stuff, and I love words. And so I looked up virtue, and where does it come from? What is the Latin origin? Like, what is the word? What is it derived from, and all of that? And where does this whole patience is a virtue thing? And so virtue is actually something that celestial beings have, like, it's better than us human beings, right? And so, we aspire to be better people, better human beings. And so what I got from it is people always focus on the patience is a virtue. And they focus on the word patience. But I switch my focus to the virtue because that's really what's important. Virtue is really what you want because patience is a byproduct of virtue. Right. And so if you have that virtue, then you're going to be patient and you're going to have other attributes that come along with the virtue. But first, you need to try to obtain that virtue. Yeah. And like being a virtuous woman. Right. Come on, woman energy Wednesday night.
But when you said, so when we're talking about watching your, like, be careful what you ask for, watching your words. I have never, and I mean y'all, prayed that God give me patience. Now I have asked Him to help me with my patience because look at give. Like I'm telling Him to give it to me. Like giving it to me meaning, okay, well you want it, so this is what you're going to get. So however I give it to you, then you got to take because you asked me to give it to you. But when I say help me, I have some patience. So with Him helping me with the patience that I have, I'm thinking, and I'm not sure about this, that He's developing the patience that I have, and it's growing. Like He doesn't have to throw me a whole can of patience at one time so that I will have to be in this whole season of learning to have patience. But I can go through a season. I can go through a season where I can develop the patience that I have.
Yo, Shantae is so slow. We doing this recording. And I write it on the paper so that she won't stop talking to keep flowing with what she's saying. And she gonna sit here and pause and look at it. Oh, okay.
But did we just not say that I have ADD?
We did. Just, I forgot.
So I don't understand why she just had thought that.
I ain't read the IEP.
You did? I do have one. Remind me to get you that.
Please give me a copy so I can make sure I'm doing the combinations right. God. I'm sorry, Fred. But you know what I mean. That was crazy, y'all. I'm like, what? Did that really just happen?
No. But you gotta give credit where credit is due. Because I could have been like, oh, we could have got it 36 minutes.
Right.
Because you know I would do that.
Okay, but she was so, man.
Delayed?
No, like Shantae is so funny. Like Shantae needs to be someone who is an observer because she will be she can't concentrate on what she doing because she's so busy looking at what somebody else doing, what's going on now. I'm over here minding my business, listening to her, trying to get the piece of paper quietly from out the notebook so I can write it on there, so I can put it up to show her like how people do in production. I'm trying to be all professional over here.
That's too little. Anyways, you know I wear glasses.
Oh, so
that's the first issue. So I had to lean in.
Is that in the competition?
Yes. I had to lean in, okay?
Child, you know this is too funny here. So yes, that's
whatever.
That's it.
Whatever, because everybody got their date.
What you was saying?
Everybody got a date. Listen, guys.
It's gonna be me another time.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's gonna be you because you have your blind moments.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Oh, but anyways, guys, we probably should have told y'all this at the beginning. But me and Quanda have been friends since 10th grade in high school. We're not going to tell our age.
Right.
But that's
just know that those times was great, okay?
It was 26 years. Now, if you wanted to take the time to calculate how old you are in 10th grade up until now, then you are rewarded with knowing how old you are.
Absolutely.
But, so...
It's no offense, and definitely no. We don't want any negative backlash from people who have been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD or any mental disability, any learning disability, or anything like that. We're not poking fun. We're not making fun of any of those people. We are just talking amongst each other because we are friends and we talk like that to each other. And if you want to be judgy, get off the podcast.
Right. And not only that, I'm aware. Like, it's not something that, a lot of times people are not aware of things.
Only God can judge.
Right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, too. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of her favorite rappers. You think he's still alive?
You know we cried.
You think he's still alive?
Nah, that man gone. I got a class about him at all at Harvard. If he was still alive, he would not have that. So, oh goodness.
Anywho.
Yes. So
we'll do that a lot too.
Okay, you got something else you want to talk about?
I was just saying that I'm agreeing with you about no judgment, and we're not talking about people who are diagnosed with those things. But if you are, it's still a open space. If that's something that you feel like you want to talk about, or you want to ask questions about, or you just feel like you need that space, because us as a culture sometimes can be very closed-minded to it. And that's why I'm so transparent about it, because I am aware of my AD.
Oh, as a culture?
Yes.
Okay.
And I am aware of, and it works for me because it helps me to understand why I do certain things the way that I do. And I tell people so that they can understand why I do some of the things that I do. So.
Absolutely. Knowing
it's half the battle.
That's right. Absolutely.
Where did it come from?
Something on PBS a long time ago. Was it the 18 or something like that? PBS?
What were you watching when you were a kid?
I have been watching all of the good learning stuff.
You should have known about that.
I was about to say, where, Shanta? Where did you get that tagline? Yes, well, it has been the tea with the hunties, because God ain't brought us through it to not bring it to you. So we gonna be here keeping it. What, Shantae?
Raw and uncut.
And always 100%. And we're looking forward to the next time. We're going to share this link. We are going to put it out there for some people to listen to and give us their feedback. So hopefully it can grow into something that we never imagined it could. We hope we'll look back at this tape and look back at this tape. What year am I in? When we listen back to this recording, tell your age. When we listen to this recording, we'll think about where we started from in this humble beginnings. So.
Right, on March the 5th,
2025.
Oh my God.
We in 2025, baby. Keep up. Keep up. So, we will be talking to you again soon.
Yes. Women Wednesday.
With that energy. Send us on out one of our favorite artists. I don't know about Shantae, but she's one of my.
Ari is my favorite artist.
Okay, all right. Here we go. God is real. She get mad. Somebody should know that. I disagree with what he had to say.